Alright, Shalom.
Shalom.
It's the brothers from the GMS North Carolina camp back with another video. Before we go any further, we'll give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakar Kodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone for teaching us the truth, according to the Bible, and rule well. And peace and blessings to the elect of the nation of Israel today, through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Shai. Me and the brother was able to get up today, and we are going to do a lesson on payback. You know how you red Hebrew Edomites are going to have to pay back for all the trials and tribulation, all the hell, all the anguish, all the heartaches that you have put on the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But first, get 2 Thessalonians 1:6. Who are the red Hebrew Edomites? The red Hebrew Edomites today are biblically who you people know the red Hebrew Edomites are is the so-called white people. Their biblical nationality are the red Hebrew Edomites according to the Bible, you know. And why are they have to pay for the all the atrocities they've committed to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans? Because they are the children of God, you know. They are the children of the Most High, you know. They are the Lord's chosen.
God, this is 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High.
Yeah, seeing is a righteous thing with who you people ignorantly call God, Yahweh. That's his true name in the ancient Hebrew. Go ahead.
To recompense.
Yeah, that word recompense means to pay back, you know. Go ahead.
Tribulation,
you know, all type of hell, all type of anguish, you know, heartache. Adversity, you know. So seeing is a righteous thing with the Most High. Once again, you people ignorantly call God, Yahweh, you know, to pay back tribulation, heartache, you know. What'd you say, bro? Adversity. Yep, go ahead.
To them that trouble you.
To them that trouble us. And who is troubling us today is 2019. Get Leviticus 21 and 16. It says to them that trouble. Who's troubled us? Those who stole us, who stole our identity, stole our nationality, who brought us over here on cargo slave ships, who slaughtered the Native American Indians, you know, when they were living over here in peace, you know. Get on your sword, bro. Go and read it.
Alright. This is Exodus chapter 21 verse 16. And it reads, and he that stealeth a man.
Yeah, he that stealeth a man. And it's evident, you know, to this day, 2019, I believe it's March 12th, you know, that the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans were stolen. You know, it's written in your history books. You know, it's written all across, you know, it's evident, you know. Go ahead.
And selleth him.
You know, when we were brought here on cargo slaves, mainly the southern kingdom, you know, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, you know, were brought over here to the Americans from the west coast of Africa, were sold to our enemies, you know, because that was the curses according to Deuteronomy 20 and 68. Go ahead.
Or if he be found in his hand.
And like I said, you know, it's evident, you know, we still here in captivity. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, you know. Still serving slavery under the so-called white man, still having to clock in the work before the sun even rises, still getting paid dirt, you know, not getting paid anything, you know, minimum wage, you know, still have to it's just a whole bunch of eating breathing in chemtrails all time of the day, eating drinking fluoride water, eating GMO foods, you know. These are the things that the so-called white man promotes to bring us down in this kingdom, you know. Go ahead.
This is Exodus 21 and 16. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he should surely be put to death. Yeah, he shall surely be put to death. So the so-called white man, the red Hebrew Edomite, is surely going to have to pay for all his wickedness. Why? Because we are still today in the land of our captivity, you know. Can you get that in Brute, the 3rd chapter? Bumper shot, since I keep quoting it. Yep. This is Baruch chapter 3 verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
Yeah, so we are yet this day in our captivity, you know. So this red Hebrew Edomite, the so-called white man, when the Lord comes back, he's going to have to put him to death, you know. Because Yahweh Shema Shai is going to be the only one that's going to deliver us out of this captivity. So the red Hebrew Edomite, he's not going to freely give us up. If he was, he's not going to, he can't pay off the Most High. He's not gonna. He can't get out of this debt. He has to pay it back. You know, the Most High says it's a righteous thing with them. It is a righteous thing with him to pay back those who trouble us. You know. Go ahead.
This is Baruch chapter 3 verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us.
Go ahead.
For a reproach and a curse.
Yep.
And to be subject to payments.
Yeah, exactly. You know, our so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, they're not being called the children of the Most High here. You know, we're reproached. Nobody wants to be a so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native American. You know, and we are subject to payments. Why? Because this red Hebrew Edomite has set up a system to where we don't succeed. You know, ultimately it's the curses. Get down Revelation 13, 9, and 10.
This is Revelation chapter 13. Verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear.
Yeah, if any man can get the spiritual understanding of what the Lord is saying, go ahead.
He that leadeth into captivity.
Yeah, who? Go ahead.
Shall go into captivity.
Yeah, so he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. It's evident that the red Hebrew Edomite led the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the children of Israel, into captivity. So in turn, what? You reap what you sow. Hold Galatians 6 and 7 after that. It says what? He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. So what? You led the nation of Israel into captivity, you gotta go into captivity. It's only fair. It's only justice, you know? Go ahead.
It reads on. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Yeah, he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword, you know? So who killed us with the sword? The red Hebrew Edomite. What? He came over on the when he landed here on the shores. Him, Christopher Columbus, you know? Which people know as Christopher Columbus. Basically slaughtered the Native Americans, you know? You had the what they created, the Gatling gun, you know, to just shoot down towns of Native, which you know is the Native Americans, which is the tribe Gad and Reuben today, you know? Read from the top.
This is Revelation chapter 13 verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Yeah, so you gotta be killed with the sword. How are you gonna be killed with the sword? You know, get Ezekiel 25 and 14. You know, ultimately, you know, vengeance is the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shai is gonna get vengeance. You know, how is he gonna get vengeance? Go ahead.
This is Ezekiel chapter 25 verse 14. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom.
Yeah, so the Lord is gonna lay his vengeance upon Edom. You know, go ahead.
By the hand of my people Israel.
Yeah, so in the kingdom of heaven, when we're ruling, the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai is going to use his men to get vengeance on you Edomites, you know? Starting with the elect, you know, but ultimately the whole nation is going to be, is going to have you devils in the captivity. Why? Because we're all going to be a righteous nation during that time. Read it from top.
This is Ezekiel chapter 25 verse 14. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom.
Edom is your so-called white people. Go ahead.
By the hand of my people Israel.
Yeah, so the Lord is going to once again use his people Israel to get to exact his vengeance.